When I was going through chemotherapy, when I was on my deathbed, I had no hope of a future. In the end, video games saved my life, and they just might save yours too. Video games define our world. They have played a huge role in my life, and I would not be here today without them. When I was 18 years old, I was diagnosed with a severe and chronic blood disorder that caused me to bleed if I made even the smallest muscle movements. I dropped out of school and was hospitalized. I was told that I would not survive longer than a few days, maybe weeks. These were two of the most difficult years I've ever had, not because I was in pain or because treatment was difficult. It was hard because I had lost all hope of accomplishing anything in life. I had lost contact with all of my friends. I had people who later told me that they thought I was dead. My family suffered alongside me. My parents didn't know what to do or how to make me feel better. We all lived with the constant fear that I could die at any moment. Through these 2 years, through my loneliness and despair, I turned to the only thing that gave me meaning in life, and that was playing video games. I started playing all sorts of games, such as the online multiplayer game League of Legends. With over 10,000 hours logged in these games, I made friends from all around the world. These internet friends of mine didn't even speak English. However, they would check up on me every day to making sure that I've been taking my medicine and that I've been getting the proper amount of rest. Even more so, one of my internet friends was actually a medical researcher, and he connected me with some of the world's best hematologists. With his recommendations, I met with doctors who ultimately gave me critical advice that kept me alive. And the amazing thing is, till this moment, I still don't even know my friend's real name. Throughout the next 2 years, I slowly began to recover. However, I couldn't help but look back and think to myself, these games like League of Legends were not designed to help me, yet they did. What if we begin designing video games with the intention to help others? Now, before I dive into the details, I want to ask a quick question. What do we think of when I say the word gamers? Well, maybe you're typical teenage boys who are sitting in the basement right now, shooting people inside their TVs. Well, the Entertainment Software Association study shows that in 2015, there are 135 million people in the United States who play more than 3 hours of video games. That's around 42% of the nation's population. Even more so, there are actually more gamers above the age of 50 than there are under the age of 18. Yeah. And video games are not the boys' club by any means, with around 56% of gamers being male and 44% female. There are actually more than double the amount of female gamers above the age of 18 than there are boys 18 or younger. League of Legends alone has 67 million gamers worldwide. That's around 3 million greater than the population of UK or France. What this tells you is that video games are everywhere, played by anyone. And as I dug deeper into how we could push this medium forward and subsequently change so many people's lives, I found 5 major areas how video games will change our world in the next 10 years. And they are education, environmental sustainability, business operations, scientific research, and social impact. A research study that I'm conducting right now shows evidence that the amount of brain processing power that it takes to play a sitting of the game World of Warcraft very closely emulates the same type of brain processing power that it takes to operate at a 9-to-5 job in a typical cubicle. What this means is that in the next few years, you'll begin to see work to be designed to be more like games, turning something that might be boring or unfulfilling into something that is fun, engaging, and challenging. Speaking of challenge, some of the most challenging professions in our society are the medical researchers who work day and night to essentially save lives. Challenge is actually a very unique trait found in video games. And that's right, video games are actually great scientific research tools as well. The best part of video games is that they're fun to play, which means that a well-designed game is going to attract millions of players who essentially work out of leisure. However, an even better designed game is going to take the millions of people's work and with it, achieve something great. A good example of this is a game created by the researchers of University of Washington called Fold It. In the game Fold It, players are given computer-generated puzzles, which are actually molecular protein structures, which the players will have to fold to solve. After they fold the puzzles, the data is then sent back to the research labs to be used in real-world protein research. Within just 10 days of releasing the puzzle in 2011, Fold It players deciphered and produced an accurate 3D model of the AIDS-causing Mason-Pfizer monkey virus, a problem that had been unsolved in the medical world for the past 15 years. Your next Nobel Peace Prize winners are no longer just going to be the influential artists or the policy generators. But maybe it's the kid who is in a garage right now, working on the next big game that connects the world through play.